of consultants and installers will treat your home like their own. Schedule a free consultation at 904-580-3777 and visit KohlerHomesInc.com to learn more. Kohler Homes, your trusted company for windows and doors.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Find your why in your next career move at the First Coast YMCA. Everyone can get involved and make a difference in your community at the Y. And if you'd like to turn your passion into a fulfilling career, the Y is an equal opportunity employer and is now hiring youth program leaders, lifeguards, swim instructors, and more. Plus, Y staff enjoy benefits including free YMCA membership and free childcare while you work. Find your passion, find your why in a career at fcymca.org.
I know you may have concerns right now about selling your home. The Northeast Association of Realtors reporting home sales are down 20% from this time last year. But you know what? Rates are holding. If you have the right agent, you can sell your home, and you can sell it at the cost that you want to. But those agents are Chad and Sandy Real Estate, and you need to check them out at chadandsandy.com or call them in their office at 414-6200 because they guarantee offers on your home within 72 hours or they'll sell it for free. This matters. Look, whether you need a bigger home for your office or you just have a growing family, the time is right for you to leave now, even if you don't know that it is. In fact, Jeff and Robin were still in a starter home, but their daughter was now a teenager. They needed more space. They heard Chad and Sandy on the radio, and they called. Chad sold their home for full asking price in 3 days. Often they'll get more than your asking price. Call the only agents I trust and recommend and get multiple offers in 3 days or sold free. Go to chadandsandy.com.
Football season means time on the couch and plenty of big games on the TV. Well, Florida Home AC knows you might be hitting the thermostat every time your team goes for the win. With family and friends hanging out for 4 quarters or more, the heating and AC unit will be working overtime. Stay cool with Florida Home AC. A simple phone call to 777-4300 and make sure your unit is primed for the fall when temps change constantly. Order a tune-up and enjoy the season. Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update. I'm Donna Murphy. We do have you covered. Live play-by-play sports beginning tonight. High school football right around the corner with state semifinal matchups between Bowles and American Heritage. Andrew Gibson will be on that call on 10:10 a.m. beginning at 7:30. And tomorrow it'll be college basketball for you. JU playing host to Trinity Baptist. The Dolphins still undefeated at home, 2-0 already this season. Tip-off is set for 4 o'clock, and you can hear that action on 92.5 FM and 10:10 a.m. Currently it is 6 o'clock and a beautiful 70 degrees outside. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller. Your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update. I'm Donna Murphy.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Kind of a Detroit feel to it, doesn't it? Three-Fingered Ted, Bob Seger, Kid Rock. Hey, Ballou, how about Kid Rock? You ever hear Kid Rock when he sings Sweet Home Alabama? Motown, 2 Detroits. got to win a football game. A couple of 4-7 clubs. My advice to all of you who go to Detroit, don't. Take the cab ride over to Windsor. And always a lot of fun visiting the folks to the north. You can get in some trouble over there. At least that's what I'm told. Okay? But if you've never visited, it's a lot of fun. I got to believe on a Friday night or on a Saturday night, it is going to be especially fun. I know I've done that previously, and it was a great time, but I'm always here to try to give you a tip if, in fact, you're headed towards Detroit, Michigan for the ball game at 1 o'clock coming up on Sunday. Hey, I'm going to join you at 8 a.m. Sunday morning. All right? I'll be in here with me, O'Brien. Hayes Carline will be checking in live from Detroit. Frangie will be checking in, among others. Obviously, it's going to be cold there. It's going to be, it's not going to be kind, but it doesn't matter because the game's indoors. And I actually think it's a pretty nice dwelling. It's a good place to play a football game. And, yeah, I'm really excited about this one. So much is hanging in the balance here because this is one of those games where I got to believe most of the media in Jacksonville believes this thing keeps rolling, right? 3 out of 4. Looking ahead at Tennessee. I can't believe there's a scribe. I can't believe there's a talkie or a very handsome or a pretty man or gal in Detroit City who's picking the Jaguars to win. I can guarantee you that is not the case. So this is one of those rare situations where I think the fan base believes that their team is going to win, and also the media believes that the team that they cover is going to win. You don't always get that. For starters, in a lot of places there are, the plugged-in contrarian who likes it more when the team actually does lose as opposed to when they win. Now, you don't get that here because it's a one-horse town. Even though the other day I was talking about it's a one-horse town, but it's not really a one-horse town because there's a lot of love around here for college football. There's a lot of love around here for the PGA Tour. There's a lot of love around here with with transplants who have come from other places throughout the globe and settle here in North Florida. But you get to a major city and you look at Detroit, they're one of the few that has 4 Major League Baseball teams, 4 Major League professional teams. You got the Lions. Hell, it's Hockey Town. They absolutely love their Red Wings in Detroit. As a matter of fact, with apologies to everyone for this game coming up Sunday at 1, if I had my pick of seeing the Tigers, Pistons, Lions, or Red Wings game without even batting an eye, I'd say give me Detroit Red Wings at the old Joe Louis Arena. I mean, that was phenomenal. One of the original 6. In their battles with Chicago. But hockey, like everything else, they found a way to screw it up. For those of you who do not know, now Detroit is a member of the East. Okay? They were in there with Montreal and Toronto and Boston and New York and NYI and what have you. But anyway, that's another conversation for another day. To me, it was one of my favorite trips. Always enjoy going to Detroit. But this is a big game. It really is. And where I'm at right now is the importance of December football. There hasn't been a lot of December football in Duval around here in a number of years. And here we are the second day. It's going to grow tonight. It's going to grow tomorrow. It's going to grow on Sunday. And if you win this football game, you got a really good chance of being 2 out with 5 to go. Tennessee, to me, is one of the more unpredictable teams in all of the National Football League. They play hard for Mike Vrabel. That is a well-coached team. It is also a team that, if you look at the style of play this year in the NFL, they're really not getting a lot from their quarterback. They're kind of hanging by a thread at that particular position. And, Derrick Henry, as good as he is, he had that fumble last week, but overall didn't have the yards that you expect out of him. Of course, that's not the case against Jacksonville. It seems like he always has a banner-type day. Still, you win this one on Sunday, and you have Philadelphia pound Tennessee. All of a sudden, you're down 2 with 5 to play with 2 of those final 5 against Tennessee. It's going to be electrifying around here. I don't want to get ahead of it, but it'll start to feel just a tiny bit like 1996. And John Yurkovich actually tweeted that out the other day. Yurko was on the 96 team. Yurko's been doing radio in Chicago on ESPN 1000 for, 20 plus years. And yeah, I said then they were 4-7. I said they'll never win another game, and they won 7 in a row. They went to an AFC championship game. There's still a few people out there who remind me of that. I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong because it happens, once in a blue moon. But it happened there in 96. I thought about it. Should I come in here? Should I roll in and, pound the table and say, don't even watch the game Sunday at Detroit. Jacksonville has no shot. They've lost 19 straight against NFC opponents. Don't even watch. Go shopping. And while you're at it, forget about next week's game against Tennessee. They can't win there. They haven't since Gus Bradley's rookie season. But then I really settled in, and I was like, well, wait a minute here. Wait a minute. This team has a chance. This team can win on Sunday. This team can win a week from Sunday. If Trevor Lawrence plays the way that he has in the month of November, where he was absolutely positively spectacular, and the confidence that he has now after coming from behind not once but twice last Sunday, I think that gets lost in everything. There's been cases and points this year where Trevor Lawrence has come from behind to put this team ahead, but then the defense did break. And then you turn around and ask Trevor to get it done again with very little time through a costly interception. We remember some of that. For those of you who aren't aware of this, and I want to say that most of you are, here's Trevor Lawrence in his last 3 games. 77.2% is his completion percentage. Okay, he's thrown for 815 yards, 6 touchdowns, 0 picks, and has a passer rating of 114.9. He has been absolutely fantastic. Now, this is a team in Detroit that is terrible on defense. Get it set right now. Detroit's going to score. I mean, this honestly may be first one to 30, 31 points wins it. You may have to score 31 to win on Sunday. And we don't say that a lot in the NFL. We say it in college. That shouldn't be the case. But when you look at Detroit, they're the worst scoring defense in the NFL at more than 28 points a game. And more importantly, they're the worst rushing defense. They're actually the 30th in the NFL. But only a couple of yards separate them from team overall, which is number 32. This is a phenomenal opportunity for Jacksonville to show up and play a balanced style of football. If you watched the game last night, you saw that wasn't the case. Buffalo totally controlled the clock. Buffalo totally controlled plays for compared to plays against. I want to say at one point it was nearly double between the Bills and the Patriots. And Buffalo got a lead, and what did they do? They made Mac Jones and that porous offense. I mean, how bad is that with Matt Patricia and Joe Judge? They've got no game plan at all. I mean, just think of a second-year quarterback there. In what has always been, you've been told since day one that Bill Belichick's the best coach on planet Earth. All right? And unfortunately for Bill, or just unfortunately general, it seems like the coaches who leave his stable don't do that well. They just don't. And, Mike Vrabel, you can make the case about him. He played for Bill. Okay? But you look at the others. We can go on and on and on, beginning with Charlie Weiss. And, you could talk about what's happening right now with McDaniels and, Patricia failed in Detroit. There's just a long, long list. Crennel, it goes on and on. But you look at what they're doing right now, or what they cannot do, and what their game plan is on the offensive side with a second-year quarterback compared to the brain trust here and the advancement here. Talked this week about the 2-point conversion, how they put that route in recently, ran it in practice, and it was a precision-type play. You have to be 100% on that play with your route running and with your accuracy, and it happened. Look at the Jamal Agnew touchdown pass. Okay, motion to the right of Trevor Lawrence is Jamal Agnew. Didn't get a lot of snaps. Missed games because of an injury. It's twice he's done it this year. Exact same play. Came back to the line of scrimmage, stopped at a dime, came back out, ran a perfect route, touchdown. I mean, that's offensive imagination. That's studying your opponent and putting things in that you know can work and that you can go out there and get it done on a Sunday. I love Jacksonville's chances on Sunday against Detroit. This is not a good defense, and this is a beaten-up football team in both the secondary and offensive line as well at linebacker. Now, only 2 guys are going to miss. I'll go through that a little bit later on. But still, several on the injury report, including this week, 4/5 of their offensive line, are going into this game less than 100%. Bottom line, though, you have to run the ball. You can't put it on Trevor every week. 38 yards of rushing last week here is hopefully the exception to the rule. Now, I don't ever want to look at statistics again during a game and after a game and find out that Jacksonville only ran the ball for 38 yards. That was it last week. Doug Peterson doubled down. He's tripled down. As a matter of fact, this is the 4th time. He said after the game he could have gone. He said Monday he's good to go. Or Monday he expects him to go. Wednesday he expects him to go. Today he said good to go. So Peterson, 4 press conferences this week. Everyone got better for Travis Etienne. That is massive here for the Jaguars. They have to be able to run the football if they're going to be able to win this football game in Detroit. This is exciting. This is what it's all about. And, for you Jaguar fans, I wish you had this every year. And listen to me. I mean, I hear you bragging about a team that's 4-7. Okay, not 7-4, but 4-7. But the reason is this. You know and I know this is a better team than its record. Detroit, oh, by the way, is a better team than its record. This is going to be a very intriguing football game. We're going to talk about it over the next couple of hours. As a matter of fact, coming up first, we're going to hear from Dave Campo. All right, I bring Dave on just a couple of times this year. And, I can't tell you how much I enjoy sitting next to him during Jaguar home games. A little tip, all right? Let me give you another tip. All right, for young, inspiring journalists, whether you want to be a hack, a troll, or a real serious member of the media, half of you are going to be eliminated anyway if you didn't play the game. Okay? Half these jobs go to former players and former coaches. It's because they know the game. They understand the game. January 3rd will be officially my 30th year in doing radio. When I sit with Dave Campo, I learn things every second or third play. We have conversations about in between every play. And he will tell me something that is happening. And I've always felt that I got a pretty good feel as to what's going on out there. I mean, I study the game. I go back, I rewatch the game. But the advice is listen to those people who are older than you. Listen to those people who played the game. Listen to those people who coached the game. Even though the game has changed, they're going to forget more about football than what the average fan will ever know. And, I'm tickled to death that I get to listen. And, there is a conversation that takes place, but I'll tell you, 75 to 80% of it is him talking and me listening. And I love him for it because it's brilliant. And there's guys out there like him. I'm just telling you, if you get that opportunity to listen to people like him, and there's quite a few here in town, not really ex-coaches, if you will, but former players who do know and understand the game. It's why they're there, okay? And that applies really in any sport. It certainly applies here in football. Dave Campbell's a wizard, and looking forward to getting with him coming up here in just a couple of minutes. All right, also, we're going to check the money. We're going to go to Las Vegas, the site of tonight's USC-Utah Pac-12 championship game. We'll check in with the Philly Rooster live from there. So we're going to have a lot to do here over the next couple of hours. I've got Dayquil. I've got Sucrets. I've got Happy Pills. I do not have brandy. Do you have any, JJ?
No, but I'm like a 2-minute drive away during the commercial break from getting some.
Yeah, but we don't have Glenn's Liquors here. We got that new place.
Southside, that's my place.
It's a drive-through.
Love it.
Right? They say
they
brandy
always do me well there.
Well, they say brandy makes you better. So I'm just after it. I don't know what it is that I got.
You're sounding better than yesterday.
Am I?
Yes. As a matter of fact, during the show last night, you gained strength.
Oh, really?
Yes. You sounded better at the end than the start.
So I'm like the Jaguars. I'm like a fourth quarter team.
Yes.
I don't go away
December
early.
Team.
After the first couple of drives, I get stronger later in the program. All right. Anyway, that's what's coming up, and we're going to be with you here for the next couple of hours. All right, opening comments brought to you by Shmunez Vision. Dr. Neil Shmunez, I have known forever, and they are a family organization. They focus on personal, high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Shmunez, fellowship trained in cornea cataract surgery, all refractive surgery. It really bothers me to see a lot of people just not being able to see the way that they want to, whether it's on the golf course, whether it's in a bar and someone's trying to see something on TV, the scroll comes and I look at them and, they're squinting their eyes. Or if you're dealing with things like that, and most human beings do, it's time for a checkup, all right? And you may be a candidate for laser eye surgery. Unfortunately, I'm not. But imagine going through the rest of your days without having to worry about contacts, not having to worry about readers or glasses or anything along those lines. What they can do at Shmunez is absolutely out of this world, and they're the best in the city. Give them a call today, 299-2906, or go to shmunezvision.com. Are we on YouTube?
We are on YouTube. I was just about to say earlier, almost forgot. Go to 1010XL's YouTube page. We're the first video you see. Give us a click. Talk in the chat. Give us a like. Share us with your friends.
We got a lot to do tonight. With you tonight till 8, Dave Campo, former head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. He goes into the night with Rick Ballou on the other side.
1010XL thanks you for supporting the Tom Coughlin J Fund as they help families battle childhood cancer.
The Radiothon raised over $249,000 and generous challenge matches by Barry Orthopedic, The Beach Store and more, Cowford Chop House, Dandy Foods, e-file.com, Florida Backyard, the Nimnicht family of dealerships, Pet Paradise, and U.S. Assure played a big part in helping so many families.
Attention car buyers, you in the market for a new vehicle? Are you noticing the markup on vehicles on dealers' lots? Well, not the case at Key Buick GMC. We never have markups on our vehicles. Come in today and ask for Derek or Steve. As always, the lifetime powertrain warranty in effect whenever you purchase a brand new vehicle from Key Buick GMC. We are professional grade on the corner of Southside and Gate, or visit our website, keybuickgmc.com.
Hey there, all you fun-loving sports maniacs, a.k.a. taco lovers. Don here from Taco Lou. I'm quite proud to say that we have the best staff in all of Duval.
Don't you mean Louval?
Say hello to Lizzie.
Hello, Jacksonville.
I suppose I do mean Louval. Say, Liz, what's your favorite cocktail to make?
The Double Barrel Margarita. It's Herradura, Tequila Reposado, Orange Liqueur, Orange Juice, and our homemade sour mix. We call it Lou Brew. Give it a good shake and serve.
Well, thanks, Lizzie.
Come in and hang with me at the bar. Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Thinking about a graduate degree? Consider Webster University. Enrolling now for MBA degrees with several areas of emphasis to fit your career goals. Earn your degree completely online or in person one night each week at the local campus. Webster University is a military-friendly, nonprofit university. They accept VA benefits, employer tuition assistance, and financial aid. You've waited long enough. Apply today at webster.edu. Webster University, an accredited degree that fits your lifestyle.
What's the Anajar and Levine difference? If you're the victim of a car crash, you will always speak to a lawyer. You'll always get the highest standard of care from our dedicated legal team, and we'll always fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Don't wait. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
Main office, Jacksonville.
This holiday season, Famous Automotive and Tire is offering a buy 3, get 1 free sale on all new tire sizes and brands, plus all shocks and struts. Visit the shop for details. Then buy 3, get 1 free at Famous Automotive and Tire, servicing every customer like they're famous.
Share your voice anytime on the 1010XL text line.
Are you serious?
Installed by Lifetime Flooring.
I gotta say, you're totally blowing my mind right now.
If you can't call or email, text us. 641-1010.
The roof is on fire, or damaged, or old, and you need it replaced. That's where our friends at Lockhart Roofing come in. Family owned and operated. The Lockharts will work with you and your insurance company lickety-split and make the top of your house look, well, brand new. The Lockharts are a long-time Jacksonville business taking care of Jacksonville people. So if that roof of yours finally needs to be taken care of, call Lockhart Roofing, 904-994-3851. That's 994-3851.
When all you have is a hammer, everything is a nail. I'm Dr. George Bari, and like me, I know you have been bombarded with PRP and stem cell treatments from companies that promise the world and charge prices to match. Or the surgeon that convinced you the only way to treat your injuries through surgery. At Bari Orthopedics, we offer the best PRP treatment on the market with prices that won't cost you an arm and a leg. We also have the expertise to treat your injury surgically if that is what it entails. We can discuss all surgical and non-surgical options with you and make sure you get the best treatment available. Come see me, Dr. George Bari at Bari Orthopedics.
Need cash for the holidays or to pay off credit cards right now? Loan Pronto's all-new Express Equity Line of Credit program is just what you need. Prosser here. You don't have to do a full home refi. You can tap a small portion of the equity you have and enjoy a super low rate. With Loan Pronto's Express Equity Credit Line, you can close in 7 to 10 days, and a $50,000 loan will only cost you around $300 a month. Use that money to pay off high-interest credit cards or consolidate other debt or even start a home improvement project. With Loan Pronto, you can access up to 95% of your home's equity, and 9 out of 10 homeowners won't even need an appraisal. Even if you did a total refi recently or just bought your home, you can tap the equity with this fast, easy program. Do it now before the holidays. Call Loan Pronto at 904-999-1508. 904-999-1508. You could use that extra cash for the holidays, and you can get it with Loan Pronto. Also visit loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
The best golfing weather is upon us, and Hidden Hills Golf Club invites you to enjoy your round of golf with us. Our warm and welcoming atmosphere and spectacular golf course keeps our customers coming back. Check us out at hiddenhillsgc.com. You'll be glad you did.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Now, another interview on the Farah and Farah phone line. Brought to you by the Accident Attorneys at Farah and Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars in Detroit Sunday at 1. I will be with you at 8 a.m. Sunday morning with me, O'Brien, right here. And that'll be the start of nonstop coverage, morning, afternoon, and, of course, even into the evening with our fifth quarter show. And that's where Dave Campo will be. On Sunday, he's a big part of the 1010XL 92.5 FM family. Of course, a former assistant head coach and defensive back coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars, also a former head coach with the Dallas Cowboys. And he joins Rick Ballou. Dave, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing, Rick? It's kind of hard to follow Frank Sinatra, though, into the mix.
Well, that's JJ. JJ, no one plays the hits like JJ.
I play what Coach enjoys. I know what Coach likes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's great music. Well, you're a what? You're a Connecticut guy, so I'm a Boston guy. We all love Frank from those parts.
Absolutely, and listen, it never gets old.
No, it definitely does not get old. Dave, really excited about this game on Sunday. I know you are as well. Let's begin with the defense because that's obviously where you cut your teeth. A totally different look last week. The big nickel, again, 3 linebackers in the majority of the time. Just kind of take us through what changed in your overall opinion on what Mike Caldwell did on the defensive side.
Well, first of all, I think he did an outstanding job preparing for that ball game because there was no question that the key to the ball game was to simplify because their offense was simpler from the standpoint that they were a 2 tight end, 3 tight end, 2-back offense. And that lent itself to being able to take, they have a problem at corner. We know that. Campbell is getting better, but they really don't have a second and great third corner. So they actually, in a lot of cases, were able to take just one corner, put him on the field, and Campbell played 3 safeties, played 2 corners with only 2 wideouts on the field with the 3 linebackers to help stop the run. That's what they had to do to win that football game. Now, I think the most important thing, Rick, was not necessarily that you're going to see that going forward because, Detroit's a wide open, 3 wides. They're going to be more where you have to have extra defensive backs on the field, corners. But the key to it is they simplified. They didn't do a lot of things. And the guys actually, the area they simplified the most was inside the red zone, and they played really good red zone defense. And that's going to be important this week.
Absolutely. I mean, I think they allowed 415 yards, but you're right. They did force 3 field goals as opposed to, what could have been 3 touchdowns. If that was the case, certainly last week Baltimore could have pulled away from the Jaguars. It was the first really extensive playing time for Chad Muma. He got 72 snaps. How did he look in your eyes?
I thought he played pretty good. I don't think he's great yet. He makes some rookie decisions that are not always exactly right. But the one thing he does that he has is he's got great discipline. He's a good athlete. He's got great discipline. He's not going to bust many situations as far as run support, being in the right area where he's supposed to be. And I think that was part of their overall plan going into the ball game. Like I said, they busted 4 touchdowns. They busted coverages a week ago. And now, they went into the bye week and they said, look, we need to calm down here, and we've got to give our guys a chance to just play football rather than doing too much thinking. And that's where Muma came in. And I thought he did a good job.
Dave Campbell, our guest. You hear him here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Of course, formerly assistant head coach and DB coach for the Jags, also head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. All right, Devin Lloyd has heard it the last couple of weeks. Is it the rookie wall, Dave? Is it, oh boy, we're going to have to take a look again during the offseason and try to figure out what's next for this young man? And he isn't a traditional rookie. He's not a 21, 22-year-old. This is a 24-year-old man coming out of Utah. What's going on there?
Well, I think, first of all, it doesn't matter how old the guy is. Coming from college football to the NFL is a little bit different animal. And, that's where he struggled a little bit because I do believe they were doing too much stuff. And, I don't know if it's the rookie wall. Once they went from being a pure man team early in the season, which was a little easier for him because he was just locking up on a guy or in certain situations passing guys off based on the coverage, to where they're using more zone defense. And all of a sudden, Utah was a man team. So for him, that was a big change. And I think they were trying to do a few too many things, and it really hurt him. I think it's good to step back a little bit, get him calmed down, get him in a few more situations in practice where he can work on those things and make sure he knows exactly where he's supposed to be. And then I think he's going to be, there's no question athletically, Rick, that he's an NFL player and has a chance to be a pretty good one. And he's never shown a situation where, he's not smart enough to do things. So I'm not concerned with him going forward. I do feel like they made a good decision to kind of trying to back him up just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm glad you said too much stuff because I'm sure you've been asked about it. I've been asked about it a ton on social media. It's, can you move Lloyd to the line and have him put him on the line, have him rush the quarterback? He did that at Utah. Can you take Trayvon Walker and move him inside? How do you look at that with these rookies, again, asking them to do too much at this point with only 6 games left?
Well, I think they tried to do that with Walker. Just put him in one spot and let him play football and learn how to play football at this level. And I don't think that's a bad idea. Now, as far as Lloyd, Lloyd has the ability to be an outside pass rusher, so they might be able to get some of that going on third down. Or just from an inside linebacker position, putting him a little bit more on the rush. And, that would certainly help him a little bit, I think. I'm not sure that you want to do too much with Walker because I really think his position going forward is going to be that end rusher.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs to get as many snaps as he can in that position. Once he gets to the point where he's, feeling comfortable with everything, then I think you could move him inside because I think he'd be a force on third down, especially inside.
What type of defense do you believe they should run this week against Detroit?
Well, it's going to be the same defense they've been running, up until this past ball game. I think they're going to have to play nickel.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have to play some 4-down line. But I think that they're going to have to really zero in on the zone coverages that they play so that the guys feel comfortable in what they're doing. And, I think you've got to be able to be a little bit versatile against Goff because, you're facing a quarterback that's experienced and has had a pretty good year, and they do have some firepower at the receiver.
Right.
So I think they're going to be able to control the run a little bit without having to go to the big packages all the time.
Yeah. They ran a 4-3. They ran a big nickel. There were times where it looked like they were rushing only 3 defensive linemen and actually had like 5 linebackers with 2 safeties and a corner. Multiple, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it felt like it was a lot of different looks, multiple looks this past Sunday for Jacksonville.
Well, it was multiple looks, but it was the same principle in mind. Is to get the guys on the field that could stop the run and limit the amount of corners they had to have on the field when the other team wasn't putting 3 wides on the field.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key to the whole thing. Once you start putting 3 and 4 wides on the field, that forces you. You can't be using 3 safeties out there. You got to play your corners. And when Baltimore was playing even the 21, we call 21 personnel, 2 backs, 1 tight end, and 2 wideouts, they left Williams at the other corner. They didn't have to go to the 3-corner defense where all of a sudden you've got guys like Herndon and Tarek Brown and guys like that on the field.
Yeah.
You don't want that right now, but you might have to use some of that in this ball game because of the 3 wide situation.
Final moment with Dave Campo joining Rick Ballou here on the home of the Jaguars. All right, only 17 sacks in 11 games on Jared Goff in Detroit so far this year. So that offensive line, even though they're really beaten up, they've done a decent job pass protecting him. Only 1 sack a week ago. We continue to hear about Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker. What's your best guess on Sunday as far as them getting to the quarterback?
Well, I think they're struggling. I don't think there's any question. Everybody's concerned about how they're rushing the passer is obviously legitimate. I think that the key to the ball game is going to be how well they put pressure on the quarterback on third down. Because those guys are creating third downs something like 43 or 42%. So they have been very good on third down, and that's going to be one of the keys to the situation. And they're going to have to just keep working on running some more games and doing some things to give those guys a chance to get to the quarterback. I'm disappointed, really, more so in Josh Allen than I am Trayvon, because I think Trayvon is who we thought he was as far as his pass rushing technique and all that. He's got to get better at it.
Yeah.
And Josh Allen, though, should be creating more situations. I think they're going to have to use Arden Key more. I think Smoot, they're playing those guys more, and they're going to have to come through as well.
As we wrap it up, you being around football as long as you have, the fact that they kept coming from behind last Sunday and to get that last-second touchdown pass and then complete it with a 2-point conversion, what does that do for this team? What does that do for a 23-year-old quarterback like Trevor Lawrence?
Oh, I don't think it's even measurable, to be honest with you, because it does something for everybody, including the head coach and all the assistants, as well as that quarterback. You know, what you're doing when you're creating a team like they're doing, you know, and you know, it's a new staff and a bunch of new players, you're constantly saying the same thing. That's one thing that Doug does a great job with, in my opinion. He's the same from week to week, win or lose, but he's saying the same message all the time. And eventually that message has to come to fruition. And it did in that ball game. That was the one thing they were missing, is the ability they were coming back in a lot of those ball games where they were behind, and yet they couldn't finish. And they did finish against a good football team. So the confidence level is going to be up. But, you know, again, it comes down to, do you keep it going? And I think Trevor has gone week to week to week here for 3 straight games, improving every week. And I think this is just an exclamation point on what he's been doing and what the coaches are telling him and what he has to do to be successful.
Dave, great stuff. Enjoy the weekend. We'll hear from you after the game on Sunday. And, hey, it's going to be a whole heck of a lot of fun. Do appreciate your time.
You're welcome, and I'm going to miss you in the press box, buddy.
Yeah, yes, sir. We'll see you soon, though. That'll be back before you know it. Against your old team, the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, just the Cowboys. Listen real quick. I just read an article by one of the writers, Clarence Hill in Dallas, talking about their team not being able to finish, making too many mistakes. And they called us a bad team. So I sent him a little note, and I said, Clarence, this is not a bad team anymore. They think they're pretty good, so Dallas better not be reading their press clippings, or it's going to be an ugly one on the 18th. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, yeah, we'll be there. Our listeners will as well. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it. Dave Campo.
All right.
With us here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Man, I enjoy it. Guy breathes football, and you know that's a great thing. Travis Etienne, Zay Jones, Andre Sisco are all questionable for this football game. Okay, they were limited Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's the same left foot for Etienne that was the Liz Frank surgery, as we know, the Liz Frank injury, then surgery. For Zay Jones, it's a chest coming off a career-high performance. For Andre Sisco, it is a shoulder. Roy Robertson-Harris was ill on Wednesday. He's been back the last couple of days. And today, Darrell Henderson was ill. He did not practice, so he's listed as questionable. But earlier in the day, when Doug Peterson did, in fact, say that Travis Etienne is good to go, he as well talked about how he believes that Henderson will be inactive for this game. So you're going to get Etienne, Hasty, and Connor as your 3 backs trying to win at Detroit. Again, they allowed the most points in the NFL as far as their scoring defense. All right, coming up next, let's check the money. The money flipped on this game. Depending on where you shop, Jacksonville opened up as like a 1.5 point, maybe even a 2-point dog. A little bit of money's come back to earth here in Detroit, but yesterday it went to 1.5 points favoring the Jaguars. Today I've seen it around 1. We'll get the very latest. Of course, the Philly Rooster is joining us live from Las Vegas, so he's on top of it all. We'll talk to him about that. The big game coming up tonight in Las Vegas, USC and Utah for the Pac-12 championship, as well as some big games in college football coming up on Saturday.
Your play-by-play home of Bulls Bulldogs football is 1010XL.
It's the Bulldogs' 4th straight state semifinal under Coach Matt Toblin. Bulls versus Plantation American Heritage. Friday night at 7:30 on 1010 AM.
Hey, have you heard why people are driving from all over the country to buy from Beaver? Stop waiting for months for the vehicle you're looking for. We have new inventory on the lot, priced to sell and waiting for you. Plus, every new vehicle comes with a 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty for your peace of mind. It's simple. We want to provide you with exceptional service before and after the sale. We'll see you at Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville or Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine. We're here to wow you.
So you got a letter from your insurance company saying that your policy will be canceled if you don't replace your roof. I did, and before I did anything, I called Ken Lawler and Fifth Element Adjusting. Ken, how's it work?
Jeff, if you've received a non-renewal letter from your insurance carrier, our team will help you navigate the confusing process and review your policy for you. Our goal is to get your damaged property replaced so you can get back to your life. Call Fifth Element Adjusting or visit feaclaims.com. If you're happy with the outcome of your claim, Fifth Element Adjusting will not be able to help you. Ken Lawler, DFS number P213199.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hicken here. About 2 years ago, I had Bueller Air out to install the nicest system we've ever had at our home. Why did I choose Bueller? Well, they were and still are locally owned, and their service is immaculate. I mean, they really have the coolest guys in town. Right now, they even have 0% financing available on all new systems. So remember, for AC needs, stay cooler with Bueller.
Bueller Air. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Be confident you're in control of your banking with free digital tools, fewer fees, and a team that's ready to help. Add an account at justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
When Wingstop made a chicken sandwich, you know they couldn't just make just one. Now you can have all 12 sauces and toss favorites, like the OG Hot, with a side of ranch, mango habanero, and my favorite, lemon pepper. This is Leon Searcy, and you're hearing it from me. The Favorites and Chicken Sandwich is back at all your local Wingstop locations. So do like I do. Pick your favorite flavor and try the new chicken sandwich today at Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
How wide is the moon? The answer coming right up.
It's always a good idea to compare homeowners' insurance rates instead of renewing year in and year out. Log on to southernoak.com and get an instant quote in minutes.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The moon is roughly 2,100 miles wide, about a 3-day drive.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Here at Rhino Shield, we've been protecting homes for over 20 years. We are your go-to coating company for repairing and coating stucco. But Rhino Shield is engineered for any surface. Our coating is perfect for any siding or material used on homes. From stucco to vinyl, brick, wood, hardy board, or stone. If it's on your house, we can coat it. It's a new day at Rhino Shield, so give us a call or visit us online to set up an appointment. Rhino Shield, engineered to outlast paint.
It's your boy E.T. And when I get triggered, be sure to check out my slightly salty instant reactions about your home team on all social platforms. Brought to you by Brackish, for those that live life slightly salty.
This is Mike Lynch, PGA Golf Professional. Take it from me, if you're dealing with an orthopedic issue, talk to the doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, where you're treated like a pro.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, where athletes are treated like pros. Thanks to all of you who have allowed us to be part of your recovery. Call us at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist if you ever have a need.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Hey, Hicken here from my friends at Roof It Right. Head over to roofitRightFL.com and check out their warranties. Roof It Right offers the best warranties in the business, and they will be there to stand behind their work should you ever need to make a claim. Listen, folks, if trust is important, trust my friends at Roof It Right. You can schedule a free estimate today at roofitRightFL.com. That's roofitRightFL.com. See why your friends and neighbors say, Roof It Right, so you can sleep at night.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, we're going to Las Vegas here in 30 seconds. We will hear from the Philly Rooster. Big games, including tonight, USC and Utah. I think this is the best of them all. It is disappointing that the Atlantic Coast Conference game literally means nothing now, unless you're a gambler or, I guess, a fan of either one of those two schools. I don't see much hype in the Big Ten championship game, but no doubt about it. Tonight is a huge one, and as well tomorrow at noon in the Big 12 championship is another big game.
Now, another interview on the Farah and Farah phone line, brought to you by the accident attorneys at Farah and Farah.
All right, let's go to Vegas. He is the Philly Rooster, and he goes into the night with Rick Ballou. Philly Rooster, how are you, sir?
Not bad, Rick. How you doing, my friend?
Everything's good in these parts. You sneaking over to that game tonight? Should be a good one, Utah and USC.
I am not, but I love the game. Should be real exciting. I'm not a live sporting event guy, but I think I'm going to enjoy this one on TV.
What do you mean? You were just in the World Series, for crying out loud.
Baseball's different. I did hit every game of the World Series when they were in Philly, but it's baseball's great to watch live, actually. Football is a little tougher. You can't get a feel for the game. You can't get a feel for a second-half bet. You don't really know everything that's going on. Only Eagles playoffs. That's about it.
In the NFL, teams play each other twice. Teams sometimes play each other a third time, and it's a conversation, but it's not a huge deal. In college football, if you are forced to play a team for a second time, it's an enormous deal. And two of these games coming up this weekend, that is the situation, including USC, Utah tonight. If the Trojans beat Utah the first time they met, they'd be 12-0 and undefeated.
Yeah, I mean, Utah had a lot of high hopes coming into the season, I'm sure you remember, and USC not as much, and USC has just proven to be super talented. It's very hard to beat a team twice, whether it's in college or the NFL. This game opened 1-63. I thought the one was a little low when it opened. I was right. It creeped up a little bit. It's sitting at 2.5. The total shot up. This game opened 63.5. It got all the way up to 67.5.
Wow.
There was a little pushback on the total early in the week, and then, boom, it went straight past 67. So I was a little surprised at that. But this USC side is the public side. 77% of the bets are on USC. 63% of the money is on USC. The public side here is USC, and that is generally what the public does, both in the NFL and in college. When teams play twice, they think they're going to split the game, but I think this is a really bad matchup for USC again. I like Utah here. I will be taking +3 -20, buying that half point Utah.
Interesting. Now, you mentioned the public and all of the tickets that were written for USC. Is that because SC is a public team, they're a blue blood, and Utah's not?
It's partly that, but what you will notice in college, and I exploit this all year in college, the public bets the team that is higher ranked. I don't care the situation. So when you get a situation where Alabama's playing a higher-ranked team, which doesn't happen often, you can find me all over Alabama because the public money is going to be on the higher-ranked team. So you have a 4 against an 11 here. The public is automatically going to bet the 4. They can't help themselves. They say we got a 4th-ranked team only laying 2.5. It's free money.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Very interesting, the Philly Rooster. Okay, so you're going to buy the point or half point and take Utah here coming up at +3. Of course, that game is at 8 o'clock Eastern tonight, 5 o'clock out there.
5 o'clock game is perfect.
Yep, 5 o'clock for the Philly Rooster there in Vegas. All right, let's go tomorrow. Tomorrow at high noon and 9 o'clock your time, but this is yet again another one of those rematches. Kansas State not getting a lot of love. TCU absolutely is kind of like they're still around, a lot of people nationally speaking. But if you look at the line, I mean, it's pretty close to being, a pick 'em. It's about, 1.5 for TCU.
Yeah, and this game went down today. So this game was 2.5, open 2.5. I saw couple 2.5s out there today, and all of a sudden they all got scooped up. And when you look at it, 67% of the bets are on TCU. Only 35% of the money on TCU.
Ooh.
So 65% of the money is on Kansas State. And I've been telling you all year, that tells you the big, sharp money is on the dog here. I'm going to stay away from the side only because I missed the number. I would not take 1.5. It's a dead number. You might as well take the money line if you like Kansas State. But I kind of like the under here. I think this is going to be a little bit more. You're going to have a TCU team that probably can't get knocked out either way, but they're going to be nervous, and I think they're going to change their game plan to a more of a defensive attitude to try and just get through this game. And Kansas State is really good on defense. I like the under here, 61.5.
All right, under 61.5. Not a big fan of the side, but he will play the under in the Big 12 championship game tomorrow live from Dallas. Philly Rooster, tell us about how listeners can get a hold of you both on Twitter as well as the website.
At Philly Rooster, we have the Rooster Hotline, give out free games all weekend. We've been killing it in college football, and our best sport has started up, college basketball, and the PhillyGodfather.com to sign up for a subscription.
Let's get to the NFL. Big weekend, as always. Couple of 4-7 teams in Detroit. You've talked about it with us since week 1. Better teams than what the record would tell you at 4-7. But we've had a flip here in Detroit being favored when the money came in or when the line was open. But obviously a lot of money came in on the Jaguars.
Yeah, this game, another interesting line move here. It opened around a pick, honestly, and then now it's creeping the other way. Right now, I mean, you still see Detroit 1 out there. You still see picks. The total went from 48.5 to 51.5. 70% of the bets are on Detroit, and 62% of the money's on Detroit. And I think that's because they've been giving teams a little bit of a hard time. And Jacksonville, as much as I like Peterson, I mean, they're not performing up to what I thought they were going to perform for the year, schedule-wise and record-wise. But when you look at the way Lawrence has been playing and improving, I don't know. I cannot let go of Jacksonville. I don't know what it is. All year I've been all over them. I got, I've been turning over money to the bookies on this team all year, but I can't give up on them. I'm taking Jacksonville again this week, +1. I think Lawrence is finally getting in his groove. Detroit's got a tough defense, but I think they're ready to take the next step.
Detroit has given up a lot of points, and if this becomes a shootout, I love Jacksonville's opportunity here. If somehow things get tightened up and you have to lean on Jacksonville to run the football, that would be my concern, even though Travis Etienne is going to play. They won a game last week, with only rushing it 38 yards. That is a franchise high a franchise low for actually winning a game, only rushing the ball 38 yards worth.
Yeah, but like I said, Lawrence turned the corner. He was making the throws that we thought he was going to make all year. I mean, pro NFL tight window throws. And if he can continue to do that, it's unbelievable how far this team can go. They're well coached. They got a really good quarterback. If he keeps, if he doesn't take a step back, and the future is bright for Jacksonville. I know this year really doesn't look like it record-wise, but I like this team.
All right, could be a 2-for-1 if the Jazz can find a way through Detroit, and then you look at Tennessee going to Philadelphia. Tennessee, to me, one of the more unpredictable teams to try to figure out in the NFL. But we know that this is going to be a very intense physical game. What are your feelings on the Titans and the Eagles?
Yeah, this was my favorite game of the week. As soon as the line came out, I couldn't wait to bet it. This game is interesting the way the money spread is. You're not going to believe this. 79% of the bets are on Tennessee. 92% of the money is on Tennessee.
What?
This is a situation where sharp money and public money match up exactly. And that's because of the way this line fell. This game opened 6.5, and obviously all that money that poured in on Tennessee drove it down. It's down to 4.5. The total 44.5. It didn't move at all. But this game is a classic matchup, and I love Tennessee here. I think this is a bad spot for the Eagles, a good spot for a Tennessee team that's well coached, and they are going to have a scheme that's going to slow down this Eagles running attack. I have full confidence in Tennessee.
All right, so 92% of the money is on Tennessee, and you agree?
I agree. A lot of times you go against the public. You can make money long term doing that, but the public's right around 48% of the time. So this is one case where I think the public lining up with the sharp money is the perfect storm. I like Tennessee here.
That's interesting. I have had you on for years, and you don't do that all that much. Side with the public, but obviously there's wise guys. There's wise guys money here if it's 92% of it.
That's what I'm saying. So this is a rare case where the public money and the wise guy money match up.
Yeah.
And it could be a nightmare for bookmakers. This is where bookmakers get killed, or they just win it all. They'll be begging for Eagles bets by the time game time comes.
All right. There you have it, the very latest from the Philly Rooster. As we say goodbye, please give us your information so our listeners can get a hold of you.
At Philly Rooster on Twitter. Follow the Rooster hotline. It's free. You don't got to do anything. Just follow me on Twitter. Bet the games. They're hitting at about a 56% clip. All sports combined this year. And the PhillyGodfather.com. And, we're up about 53 positions in football this year, college football. So follow and make some money.
Outstanding. Best of luck with all your plays, Philly Rooster. We'll talk again next week.
Take care, Rick.
There he goes. Philly Rooster. Wow, 92% of the money on Tennessee. I mean, everything I've ever been told about wagering, you go against the general public, but it's obvious at 92%, you've got sharp money on this as well. I haven't bet in 10 years. You might have to come over here and help me out because I got a little itch here in the middle of my back and I can't reach it. JJ, I'm thinking about putting my house on Philadelphia. If you're telling me that 92% of America is betting on Tennessee at plus 4.5.
I think Philly's been exposed lately, and I think a lot of people see that. I don't think they're nearly as good as their record. I think Tennessee always wins these type of games, too. The ones where you don't think they'll win, well, apparently everybody does. But yeah, I like Tennessee in this spot too.
This Jacksonville line is all over the place. I mean, I've seen it at Jacksonville -1. I've seen it at Jacksonville -1.5. Philly Rooster shopping actually is getting Jacksonville at +1.
Yeah,
so,
I see like a half on the website.
Yeah, I mean,
Jacksonville's a half-point underdog.
Depending on where you shop, depending on where you get it. I mean, I think over here at Lenny's Pool Hall, off of South Side and Bay Meadows, I kind of tucked into one of those corners. My guess is that Jacksonville is going to be a 1-point favorite there. Okay, but in some other circles, you can probably get them. Maybe getting a half point or a point. He is going to go that way. He's not going to play a side on TCU Kansas State. Instead, he likes the under 61.5. And I'm also surprised that he's going to buy either a point or half point and play Utah tonight, +3 over USC. That is a surprise to me. I thought he would have gone with the Trojans.
By the way, I just saw a video of a bunch of. This is why having your team play in Vegas is so much fun because the stadium's right there. Everybody with their last-minute bets to the window right before they go over to tailgate or, get a couple pregame beers in.
Any
it's
players?
Right there.
Any guys in uniform making bets?
No, I saw a lot of fans,
Yeah.
but no one in uniform yet.
There you go. If you're playing, best of luck to you.
But I just love that. I love being able to place a bet, walk over to the stadium. And I'm sure you can during the game somewhere.
No doubt.
There.
Yeah. You look at Detroit, and much like Jacksonville, I mean, they went 1-1. Then, Jackson was 2-1, but they lost 5 in a row. And you look at what they've done in the last month. They played a low-scoring game and won it 15-9. Then they won in a shootout 31-30. They won again 31-18. They won consecutive games on the road in Chicago and in New Jersey against the Giants. And we all watched them on Thanksgiving. I mean, they made some mistakes in that game, but they still played with the Buffalo Bills, 28-25. We watched last night's game between Buffalo and New England. New England did not play with Buffalo. I mean, if you were just on the surface, who's a better team, New England or Detroit, I think most people would say, well, it's New England. And I know that that's unfair to look at common opponents and go like that, but that is the latest sample size that we have. And, Detroit does get an extra 72 hours to get healthy. I hate that for Jacksonville, and they are beaten up. I'll go through that as we get ready during our second hour. All right, if you want to contribute to the program, the best way to do so is on our text line. That is 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You can also get me on Twitter. That is Ballou 1010XL.
Lauren Brooks, Donna Murphy, Taylor Dahl, and Mia O'Brien.
You ladies don't seem to realize you're going to make my boys look bad.
Helmets and heels.
Driven by Tire Outlet. Presented by Underwood Jewelers.
Tuesday nights at 6
on 1010XL.
Nimnick Chevrolet wants to take a moment to pause and reflect on all the reasons they're thankful and acknowledge their incredible customers and amazing staff. Nimnick knows that how you treat people matters, and for over 80 years, they have been humbled by your trust in their dealership. The Nimnick family is grateful for your support during these unprecedented times, and they look forward to continuing to serve this community for years to come. Thank you from Billy, Lee, and the entire Nimnick Chevrolet family. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be a 5-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient. Chevy, find new roads.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine.
I'm Ellie Anajar.
Together, we're Anajar and Levine, and our team is a triple threat to big insurance companies.
Don't settle with the insurance companies for a fraction of what your case is worth. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Get your free case review right now. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Main office, Jacksonville.
Listen up, Jacksonville. It's Santa, the undisputed champion of cheer. I'm helping out my favorite credit union, 1-to-1 Financial. Oh, yeah. With their annual toy drive for the kids and teens of Sulzbacher. What I need you to do, my Jax brothers and sisters, get a bunch of new, unopened toys and bring them to your nearest 1-to-1 Financial location. Through December 11th, it all goes to support a huge holiday throwdown for the kids. Dorcas Drake style. Woo! Get all the deets at 1-to-1FCU.org. Do your part, Jacksonville.
Roofing contractors make 10% more on your next roof project with the 1010 Radio Special. First Coast Metal Roofing Supply, in business since 1998, making this special offer for only our listeners. You get 10% off your first roof package from First Coast Metal Roofing Supply and 10% off your second roof package. They'll even match any written quote on comparable product. Find out what it's like to get first-class knowledge, service, and selection from the highest-rated company in the region, FirstCoastMRS.com.
Love cornhole? Yeah! Then now's the time to order your custom set of quality boards from Mystic Cornhole Company, built right here in Jax. They even carry several lines of pro bags. Visit the shop today and score at Mystic Cornhole Company.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic or circling the lot looking for a place to park? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to TIAA Bank Field is on the JTA Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 4 convenient locations around Jacksonville, including the Kings Avenue parking garage on the South Bank. Tickets start at just $10 and are available exclusively on the Token Transit mobile app. The JTA Game Day Express. It's like winning before the game even starts.
If you bleed teal and black, then Perfect Rack Billiards is the spot to be. This Sunday, the Jags take on the Lions. Kickoff is at 1, but brunch starts at 10, with $15 bottomless mimosas and Bloody Marys, along with wing, beer, and liquor specials all day long. If the Jags score, you score. Free shots on the house for every Jags touchdown. This is the place to be to watch your Jags home or away. Perfect Rack Billiards in Murray Hill on Edgewood Avenue.
Duval! If you think selling your home is going to be a problem, well, let me introduce you to the problem solvers. Those are Chad and Sandy Realty, because while others are struggling, they're guaranteeing offers on your home within 72 hours, or they'll sell it for free. Look, there is this implication right now that it's not a good time to sell. The Northeast Association of Realtors recently reporting home sales are down 20%. But Chad and Sandy can get the job done. They guarantee multiple offers on your home in 3 days, or it's sold free. They'll get maximum convenience and maximum sales price when you turn to Chad and Sandy. For Nate and Sharon, things were bad. They were going through a divorce, facing foreclosure. Their home had been on the market for 94 days with another agent, failed to sell. They were out of time and desperate. Hired Chad and Sandy. It was a miracle. The home sold in 3 days at a profit for both. Eternally grateful is an understatement, they say. So call the agents I trust at 904-414-6200. That's Chad and Sandy. Or go to chadandsandy.com. Chad, ANDSANDY.com.
I want my Woody's barbecue.
Hi, Flying Jacko here for Woody's Barbecue. My favorite restaurant when I crave ribs is Woody's. Turkey, chicken, and pork, same with them. Here's a high-flying Woody's tip. Order the family feast, eat some of it for lunch, and take the rest home. Remember the banana pudding and watch your family go crazy tonight. Woody's Barbecue.
At Woody's Barbecue, it's what we do. Let's eat.
The holidays provide a good reminder to ensure your vehicle is well maintained for safe and reliable travels. So in the spirit of giving, Famous Automotive and Tire is offering a buy 3, get 1 free promotion on all size tires and brands. All new tire sizes and brands, buy 3, get 1 free. This holiday sale also applies to all shocks and struts. Visit the shop for details and get your vehicle holiday ready at Famous Automotive and Tire. 7 locations servicing every customer like they're famous.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, Friday night, get ready for the weekend. Going to be a great one, including tonight, USC Utah playing for the Pac-12 championship. JJ and I will make our picks coming up here in just a little bit. My goodness, the football world's going crazy over this Drew Brees story, that he was struck by lightning, and then apparently it's a gimmick. Just about everyone has an opinion on it. Everything from it's tacky to how could you do something like that to who cares. But usually stuff like this happens in the world of rock and roll or, you know, with actors in Hollywood. Outside of like Antonio Brown, maybe Dennis Rodman, you don't get a lot of stuff like this sports related.
If you believed this video when you saw it, you're a dullard. I'm sorry, folks. But because if Drew Brees gets struck by lightning and killed, do you think there was a guy standing right next to him with a camera who wasn't affected by it? Neither was the camera. Then he released the video. Like, oh my God, I love this about the internet. It really exposes the true idiots we have around here. And congratulations to Point Bet USA, because I'd never heard of you up until about 8 hours ago. And now you're all over the internet.
Yeah.
Congrats. That's exactly what they wanted to do.
They picked up a lot of traction.
Yes,
whether
they
you
did.
Agree or not, I had never heard of them either.
No. But they've released a video, and Drew Brees is all right. Apparently, he didn't actually get struck by lightning in Venezuela, as we were led to believe. Yes. I love betting websites always do this kind of stuff. Any way to get their name out there. I remember one in particular a few years ago during the World Cup. They paid a guy to have their name on his boxers, And so he was paid every time his shirt was lifted up and you could see Patty Power or whatever it is. It's always something with these guys.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was fined.
I remember the tattoos with boxers.
Yeah, like the back tats. Obviously not permanent tattoos, but yeah, for the night it'd be like goldenpalace.com.
You paid me enough money, I'd get a back tat.
Absolutely. I get a real one.
Yeah. I think they were real. Those weren't even...
No, they were just...
All right.
Yeah.
When my kids were young, and we were at Disney or something, I'd get them a temporary tattoo.
That's what that was, basically.
Be gone by the end of the day. They'd sweat it off.
A henna tattoo.
Yeah. I want to say this, and I don't know why I want to say it. I just want to. Last night, the game between the Bills and the Patriots, I got to tell you, if you're this miserable, it's time to get out. Now, I've loved Al Michaels, okay? The gold medal, the win against Russia in 1980, heck, the 1986 American League Championship Series when Boston came back against the then California Angels, when Don Baylor hit the home run, then Dave Henderson hit the home run. I mean, I've always had a lot of love and admiration for Al Michaels. He has completely lost it. I looked it up. He's making $1 million a game, and this man actually has thousands and thousands and thousands of people who feel sorry for him because he gets a bad game on Thursday night. Last night was 24-10.
I'm one of them. Free Al. Give him back the good Sunday night games, man. We deserve better. He deserves better.
He's making $1 million a game. I mean, seriously. I mean,
I'd be willing to do just about anything for $1 million for 3 hours of work.
There are people out there that are living paycheck to paycheck who feel bad for a man who is sitting in a booth calling an NFL game. I mean, think about that for poor Al. He doesn't have a good game. Poor Al. He can't get two teams with winning records. And his comments, I'm sure to some are humorous, and they love it and they get it. But, I mean, to the total lack of excitement on that little, dump down pass to the defensive back who scored a touchdown, Jones, for the New England Patriots. He's kind of going through the motions. He's always complained about reviews. He's always complained about too many flags. And I understand that drives a lot of fans crazy. But still, he's the broadcaster. And I also got to tell you this. Dr. Herbie is adding absolutely nothing to the NFL broadcast. That was a massive mistake by Prime. He's just not an NFL guy. And there's really no other way to say it. There's plenty of qualified NFL people who could be in that booth with Al Michaels as far as I am concerned. Now, he's going to call that game tomorrow with Chris Fowler, the Big 12 championship at noon. That's fine. I mean, that's what we know Dr. Herbie as, and we respect his view and his opinion on the college football game. He's lost in the NFL. He didn't know the talent in the NFL. That's what's amazing to me. I mean, he's like bragging about Josh Jacobs, who last week ran and had more than 300 yards from the line of scrimmage. And you know the reason why, because he just saw Josh Jacobs a couple of years ago playing at Alabama, in some of these big college football games. But if you come out of a small school, which so many of these players do, if you're an undrafted guy that wasn't a headliner like Josh Jacobs, who went in the first round, he just really appears to be lost.
I agree.
You do?
By the way, Al Michaels is 78 years old.
He's a legend. He's an absolute legend.
I don't think I would be super excited about a regular season 24-7 game either. It was
24-10 with a missed field goal.
24-10, yes.
Should have been 24-10. And by the way, he got that wrong. He said it was good.
Yeah, it did look good on TV, though. We were talking about that with the Baltimore Ravens kick at the end of the game. Depth perception-wise, when you're just looking at it straight ahead, you have no idea.
He's the best. He's one of the greats of all time. He is blessed. There are, how many people would give everything to be in his chair? And maybe I'm the cranky, get off my lawn type of guy, but I don't feel that way when I listen to Jim Nantz. I don't feel that way when I listen to Joe Buck. I don't feel that way when I listen to Gus Edwards.
Gus Johnson.
Gus Johnson, yes. Gus Edwards had the big fumble. Dewey, the Andrew Wingard fumble.
I think that Buck's boring too. Like
Okay.
I don't get that. I never got that.
Buck's snooty, Buck's
obviously incestuous. It's the only reason he has that big gig.
He's going to give you the vocab. He's going to drop a little Costas vocab on you. Joe Buck is an elitist, but at least he sounds like he wants to be there. That's my point. It sounds like Al Michaels doesn't want to be there.
He doesn't anymore. Nance is the best to me.
I agree.
Still the best, able to do all the sports. I don't know if he's still doing college basketball, but he was. I love Nance. I love Al Michaels. It's just maybe it's time to give it up. But you're not going to walk away from $1 million every game.
You know who I think's becoming? He is dwarfing into Al Michaels. Brad Nessler.
So he does what? CBS?
He's
now?
there with Danielson.
Yeah.
He replaced Vern Lundquist. He's becoming annoyed guy. We got to have another review.
I hate it.
I can't
he's
believe.
Speaking for us at home, though. It's
I can't
crap.
believe there's a false start. Okay? I get that.
I like that better than fake Gus Johnson. Everything is cool.
Really?
This is the greatest play of all time. That's crap, man. I like a guy being real up there. And honestly, to me, the NFL is really hard to watch nowadays. It's not nearly as exciting as it used to be. And the reviews and the constant stoppages in play and the rules and what to hit. We're kicking this guy out for hitting him in the head. All that's crap. It sucks and it slows the game down. And the quarterback play this year, so bad. I would rather have a guy tell me how boring it is. Because I'm watching the game last night, too. And it sucked. I'm barely watching it. I have the volume down because it's not exciting. The result really doesn't have any effect on the rest of the season. And, yeah, it is what it is. I don't need to hear Gus Johnson screaming about, some random touchdown in the third quarter that really doesn't matter.
So you don't get excited with Joe Tessitore.
Oh, he is Gus Johnson. I hate that guy.
Joe Tessitore, an ant could be walking across my kitchen floor, and Joe Tessitore would make that ant sound like Barry Sanders making 11 defensive guys miss him. Eddie Money had the best label ever for a golf ball. It was just the money sign. And I feel like someone needs to send Al that and put it right in front of him in the booth and just remind him that you're making $1 million to do this game. Okay?
And he'll probably be like, yeah, I deserve it.
Right? He does deserve it.
For past accomplishments, though.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately is also how sports contracts work.
He's a perfect example of a guy who's being paid for what he's done, not for what he is going to do.
The old Pujols contract.
Yeah. With Al Michaels. And by the way, I don't enjoy saying this. I love Al Michaels.
He would know, he would
he's
tell
on
you
Mount
the same
Rushmore.
thing, though. If he was off the air, it was just us, he'd be like, yeah, I'm phoning it in. It's pretty clear.
But people feel sorry for him. Why did he take the money? Why, if he wanted great, when you're Al Michaels and you're 78 and you got all that money, why didn't he just stay at NBC? And I understand they wanted Tirico
Maybe they
to
pushed
finally
him
get
out.
it.
Because the last couple of years at NBC, he's doing the same thing as he is now with Amazon. He's sounded like old grouchy guy for a couple years now. And maybe NBC, NBC brought Tirico on a long time ago. They thought Tirico was going to replace Al Michaels a few years ago. Michaels didn't leave, and they just have this really high-paid guy, and they don't know what to do with him. He was doing Notre Dame games.
We saw Brent Musburger. They moved along because he was getting older. We saw Vern Lundquist. They moved along. Vern made a ton of mistakes. But
it was rough at the end.
In my opinion, those are two grown men who loved what they were doing. Totally, whether the game got away from them, they weren't as sharp as they once were. That's not the case with Al. I feel like Al is still as sharp as he's ever been.
He doesn't sound old.
But he doesn't enjoy the broadcast.
No.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
Like Vern was obviously old and couldn't do it anymore, still got hype, still enjoyed it.
All right.
Al can do it, hates it.
In the nearly 30 years that I've done radios, I dumb it down to a very, very, very small little scenario here in Jacksonville. 30 years of doing radio. There was only 5 months where I did not enjoy what I was doing.
Wow.
Okay?
It's a very specific time.
5 months. And the end result of that has me working into the night.
It was exciting, electric.
To Michael Hasty, touchdown from 28 yards out.
He throws an incredibly good football, and he's smart, and he sees the field.
In the right corner of the end zone, Marvin Jones Jr.
They wanted to go for two. The players were like, let's go.
Zay Jones catches it. The 2-point conversion is good.
That throw, that catch was a thing of beauty.
You win or you lose on that play. He trusted us to go win the game.
I knew we were winning the game. Like, I could feel it. It was so cool.
A win like this just kind of heads us in the right direction.
Next up, the Detroit Lions, Sunday at 1 on 1010XL, home of the Jaguars.
If you're like most people, you're not even thinking about replacing a water heater until your existing one fails. Of course, that always happens at the worst possible time. If you'd like to avoid an emergency, give Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services a call. We have different options and brands available and can get your appointment scheduled today.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
Josh Scobie here to tell you about Eastern Roofing Company. Are you in the process of selling your home and are being required by home inspectors or an insurance company to replace your roof? The team at Eastern Roofing is here to get the job done. They can get your roof done fast with no money paid until the sale of your home. Don't miss out on a sale because of your problems with your roof. Call Eastern Roofing today at 775-ROOF or visit easternroofing.com. Eastern Roofing Company. Service with integrity.
Ballou here for Shinatri Chiropractic, the breakdown of the body. Stop fighting it. Visit Shinatri Chiropractic, the official chiropractor of JU Athletics. Back and neck pain, arms, legs giving you problems. Get an effective diagnosis and treatment with an adjustment or dry needling. How about acupuncture, which I love because it works. Get rid of your pain and tension. Call 743-6700 or visit them at 2711 University Boulevard, Shinatri Chiropractic.
At Farah and Farah, we use a registered nurse, private investigator, and a team of attorneys to build your case and fight for the compensation you deserve. Farah and Farah, protecting you and your family. Call us at 396-5555, Jacksonville.
Into the Night with Rick Ballou will be live each and every Thursday from Mr. Chubby's Wings. Come join us from 6 to 8 on Thursdays for 2-for-1 pints and pitchers, $3 wines and wells, Mr. Chubby's Wings in Ponte.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. Thanks to the coaches and the schools who believe in our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is head coach Ferland Dormery of Trinity Christian Academy High School. Our athletic program selected Southeast Orthopedic Specialists to work with our state championship football team and will continue to use them. We recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
It can get hot as tar on the Roof It Right hot seat.
Turn the heat up, let's go!
When players and NFL experts join Jaguars Today with Mike and Tony from 10 to noon on 1010XL. Roof It Right so you can sleep at night.
Hey, Guggens, Hicken here for Zero Res. I asked my wife, what do you want for the new year? She said, a clean home filled with family and friends. So that means the carpet, the tile, the grout, the large oriental rug in our family room, and the huge sectional sofa that everyone loves to hang out on. They need a good Zero Res cleaning. Give Zero Res a call, and your carpet's clean for only $49 a room, and you get your tile and grout clean for 25% off. Zero Res, man. Spell it forwards or backwards.
Zerorez. Zero Res.
Estate cleanouts, hoarding cleanouts, old appliances, and even tools. There are tons of reasons why you or someone you know may need expert help clearing space. J-Dog Junk Removal will responsibly help you free up space. That means when they leave your place, it looks better. Whether it's you or a loved one that needs one type of clean out at your home, trust the veterans at J-Dog Junk Removal. Veteran owned and operated. Call 844-GET-JDOG or visit jdog.com.
Keeping your body healthy and active leads to a more vibrant life. A great place to do that is the First Coast YMCA. The Y is equipped with state-of-the-art cardio and strength equipment, plus group exercise studios where trainers host activities like yoga, Zumba, and cycling sessions. The full-court basketball gym and indoor 5-lane swimming pool are open year-round. The Kids Zone can keep an eye on your kids while you work on that dad bod. And it's all available with your family membership. Learn more at fcymca.org.
The holidays are a special time of the year, and helping others is a big part of it. This is Joe C., and our Toys for Tots golf tournament at the Golf Club of Southampton is always a great day, with plenty of people making sure the Marines have plenty of toys to put smiles on kids' faces when they need it most. So join us at Southampton Wednesday, December 7th for a primetime Christmas benefiting Toys for Tots. Or if you just want to help, drop off an unwrapped toy at 1010XL or Southampton, and we'll make sure it's under the tree for Christmas.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, Ballou along with JJ. Let's make our weekly picks. Have 5 in college, have 5 in the NFL. Up-to-dated numbers look like this. Ballou 78-48. JJ 74-52. We have one tonight. That is USC and Utah. Philly Rooster just came on and said, take the Utes. I'm going to go the other way here. I'm going to take the Trojans.
Yeah, I agree. I love Caleb so much. I watched the Notre Dame game last week. I was very impressed. I'm going to go with USC.
He is a fun quarterback to watch. I mean, he doesn't get enough credit for his feet, but the way that he throws across his body, I mean, he really has it all as a QB. We both like USC. You're up next tomorrow at high noon, Kansas State, TCU.
I'm going TCU. I've seen a ton of Kansas State stuff, and the point spread is actually only like 2 points, but I'm going TCU.
All right, SEC championship game. I obviously have Georgia.
Well, who'd you pick?
Oh, I'm sorry. I have TCU. I'm sorry. Maybe maybe why that's 4 ahead. I don't always make my picks until after the game.
I'm going Georgia as well, but I think LSU will cover the big spread, 17.5.
All these rumors about, Drake May in North Carolina.
Yes.
What's going on with Clemson. Both teams coming off a loss. Could be an ugly game. I would never bet on it. But you were up. Your pick.
I'm going North Carolina on this one. I just think they're going to be able to score a lot of points, and the 8 of 29 performance from DJ last week doesn't get me hyped on Clemson. I'm going Tar Heels.
Who had a worse second-half performance, DJ or
AR?
AR.
0 of 11 at one point last week.
Yeah. I will take Clemson. You will take UNC. Finally, do we have to play that Michigan-Purdue game? Is there anything else worth playing?
Right.
UFC at Tulane. I'm sorry. I can't do that. I'll take the Wolverines.
Yeah, I like Michigan big.
All right, let's get to the NFL coming up on Sunday. What a weekend it is. Some really good games on tap. No question about that. You are up first. The Jets going to the Vikings.
I like the Vikings. I think the Matt White, or what's his name?
Yeah, Matt White.
Mike White, excuse me. The Mike White story ends here. I don't think he has a 300-yard passing game this week. I think the Vikes win.
Mike White, the pride of Delaware. So, actually, wait a minute. That's Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
I must have pulled that up wrong.
The other
Western
Jets
Kentucky. Yeah, he is at Western Kentucky. So you're going with Minnesota.
Correct.
Yep, I'm going to do the same. All right, here we go. Tennessee, Philly. I'm going to take Philly at home.
Like I was just saying earlier, I really like Tennessee in this spot. This is one of those games where Tennessee seems to pull it out. They go on the road. I like the Titans.
Kind of lost, and I'm sure it's not nationally, but I really haven't heard a lot of it being discussed locally. That is the return of Deshaun Watson. Cleveland at Houston. I'm going to take the road Browns here with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, Houston's easily the worst team in the league. But I actually think they'll keep it close. I don't think Deshaun's going to look too great, but I like the Browns to win.
All right, maybe the game of the week is Miami in San Francisco. How do you see that one?
I like the Niners in this one just because of that long trip out west.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to do the same. I like San Francisco as well. Miami's coming off a bye, though, aren't they? No teams had a bye last week. All 16 teams did play. My apology there. Both JJ and Ballou.
Which, how weird is that?
That is weird. Yeah, they had a couple of weeks, or 1 week or maybe 2 weeks with no buys and getting back to buys again coming up next week. All right, Jacksonville at Detroit. I'm going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars to win their third game in 4 trips, including 2 in a row.
Yeah, I think the Jags win pretty easily in this one. Rolling with Jacksonville.
There are a couple of bye teams this week, both Arizona and Carolina. So you have 2 this week. I want to say you have 6 next week.
Yeah, there's definitely some next week.
Yeah,
Atlanta. It's super late, I feel like.
Right, Atlanta, Chicago, Green Bay, Indianapolis, New Orleans, and Washington, D.C. There you go. Picks are in. We both like USC. We both like TCU. We both like Georgia. JJ likes UNC. I like Clemson. We both like Michigan. On Sunday, we both like the Vikings. JJ likes Tennessee going into Philadelphia. I'm taking the Eagles. We both like Cleveland as they visit Houston. We both like San Francisco as they are the home team against the Dolphins. And we're taking the Jaguars.
Don't let us down, Jags. I feel like every time we pick the Jags, they lose. Every time we pick the other team, they win.
All right. I want to replay Tim Brando from a night ago because I had him on around 6:15, 6:20, and it's going to be around 7:36, 7:37 when we come back. And there was some really good things that Brando said about the future of college football after the Rose Bowl and their announcement yesterday. If you missed out on it, it's absolutely worth listening to. So we're going to replay that for you. Tim Brando joins me weekly. We'll hear from him as he joins Ballou and JJ on the other side.
Hayes Carline's reconnaissance mission brings you everything you need to know about the next opponent.
I'm prepared to make available to you the microfilm.
Go behind enemy lines. Brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors. 5 hours before kickoff on 1010XL.
A Dream Finder's home is an amazing way to celebrate the holidays. Unwrap your family's future in a new St. Johns County community like Shearwater or Beacon Lake as 2022 comes to a close and 2023 awaits. What could be better than an expertly built, energy-efficient, move-in ready Dream Finder's home to enjoy everything that makes the holiday season merry and bright? How about an interest rate lock special from Dream Finders, which will secure your new home at a big savings? It's the holiday gift that keeps on giving. Happy holidays to all from Dream Finders Homes. Visit DreamFindersHomes.com.
Hi, this is Travis Cummings of the Ballou Group, and I specialize in working with medium and large companies to ensure their employees get the best benefits possible.
This is Mary Marks from the PACE Center for Girls. PACE provides girls and young women an opportunity for a better future through education and advocacy. And Travis Cummings from the Bailey Group ensures everyone that works at PACE has the very best in coverage and benefits so that we can attract the very best team members.
And I'll make sure your employees are well taken care of.
I-9 Sports covers the First Coast, giving kids from 3 to 17 a place to enjoy sports year-round. And now they've put up a Help Wanted sign for referees in Duval, St. John's, and Clay. Email Jacksonville at i9sports.com to find out how you can help keep the game going and be a referee. Flag football, basketball, soccer, t-ball, I-9 Sports is looking for refs. Email Jacksonville at i9sports.com. And don't forget, Mom and Dad, enter 1010XL in the promo code for a discount on your next I-9 season.
Are you an electrician looking for better pay and benefits? Miller Electric Company has the industry-leading compensation package. Electricians are eligible for a signing bonus up to $1,000. Now, they're partnering with the Jaguars in their new performance facility, the Miller Electric Center. Miller Electric has opportunities for you to work on some of the most exciting projects right here in Jacksonville. Whether you're experienced or not, visit MillerCareers.com, an equal opportunity employer. That's MillerCareers.com.
The holidays provide a good reminder to ensure your vehicle is well maintained for safe and reliable travels. So in the spirit of giving, Famous Automotive and Tire is offering a buy 3, get 1 free promotion on all size tires and brands. All new tire sizes and brands, buy 3, get 1 free. This holiday sale also applies to all shocks and struts. Visit the shop for details and get your vehicle holiday ready at Famous Automotive and Tire. 7 locations servicing every customer like they're famous.
Mia O'Brien here, still providing the best multimedia sports coverage in Northeast Florida on 1010XL radio, video, and social channels. Catch Mia's Quick Hits, driven by Arlington Toyota. It's Mo Time with Mo Bryan.
Be confident you're in control of your banking with free digital tools, fewer fees, and a team that's ready to help. Add an account at justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Here's your 1010XL First Coast Community Calendar.
The Jax Police Athletic League inaugural 5K and Fun Run is Saturday, January 7th at Ed Austin Park on Monument Road. Register at jaxpalsports.org.
There's a critical need for all blood types. Please consider donating at a local blood donation center.
City Rescue Mission has been providing food, clothing, and love for over 70 years to the homeless in Jacksonville. If someone you know is struggling, City Rescue Mission is here to help. Learn more about the City Rescue Mission at crmjax.org.
The Wounded Warrior Project provides what medicine and technology can't: community, counseling, and a second chance. Find ways to help at woundedwarriorproject.org.
The Creeks Athletic Association in St. Johns County offers a variety of sports for children 5 to 18. Learn how to get your child involved at caaleague.org.
If you're involved in a community event and you'd like us to help spread the word, find out how at 1010XL.com.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. What's better than beer? Cold beer. Put your company logo on a custom koozie. Check them out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, let's hear from Tim Brando. I caught up with him early last night. Want to replay that for you. It was a huge day in college football with the Rose Bowl and their announcement and the expansion that is coming with the college football playoff. Here it is, Rick Ballou with Fox Sports, Tim Brando.
Now, another interview on the Farah and Farah phone line, brought to you by the accident attorneys at Farah and Farah.
Timmy B, how are you?
Yeah, we had to do some work to get this accomplished, didn't we? Good to talk to you, buddy.
Yeah, Phoenix Airport, huh? Worst places to be.
A lovely Admirals Club. So I'm going to have to, so I'm not going to be as boisterous as I normally would be, but it's great to be with you.
Okay, yeah, I understand that. First things first, Rose Bowl, the announcement they made, so it looks as though the 12-team college football playoff, it'll be the rest of this year, next year, but then everything goes into play by 2024.
Yeah, that was done without much fanfare, and Rick, let me tell you, that was and is a big deal. And again, I think it kind of sends a message to how little the national media pays attention to college football. The Rose Bowl was the sticking point that many people thought would be problematic for any advanced playoff system that could ever be put in play because of the great value they put in that 3:30 Eastern window on New Year's Day. I mean, we've had, and we'll have it again this year, we'll have semifinal games being played. Remember that line by Bill Hancock, we're going to change the paradigm of college football viewing. We're going to make New Year's Eve a big night for college. I thought that might have been the most insane statement ever made by anyone that was a leader in college football. But he was just trying to put lipstick on a pig, and it was still a pig. I mean, getting the Rose Bowl and the Big Ten and the Pac-12, who had a lock on that thing to play ball with any college football playoff, 10, 15, 20 years ago would never have been heard of. I mean, Jim Delaney was a stickler about that when he was commissioner of the Big Ten. Now, he's out of that position, but Jim's got his fingerprint in a lot of ways all over what's going on now in college football as a consultant. So this is huge, what happened. And I'm a little surprised more people didn't make. I know there's a lot going on. I know there's the World Cup going on. I know we've got, a lot of other sports out there that are playing. We got, you mentioned it. What's on tonight? We got hockey's on. The NBA is on. We got, big time college football and NFL games being played. But, that was a huge deal. Okay, to get the Rose Bowl to acquiesce to being a part of the rotation and not have an exclusive deal on that time slot, with the sun setting over the St. Gabriel's, giving us a game that no one cared about because the semifinals are being played on New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
this is a very big step, and I know I think I may have suggested this to you today. I said something about it in social media this week. I think that by the time that we've got now a year and a half, basically. The rest of this season, next season, and going into the following season to get things set up. And they're saying they're set with 12, and I get that. But I'm going to tell you, as they get down to negotiations, into the nitty-gritty of those negotiations, they may find that it's in their best interest to go to 16 and allow teams 1 through 4 to have a chance to play at home as opposed to have a bye.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't change the calendar at all. You would be bringing in, the top 4 teams. For the most part, those are teams that have huge followings and would drive the ratings up, and it would also drive the inventory up, and therefore you'd make a hell of a lot more money, which I believe the school presidents want. So it'll be interesting to see. Even if with 12, I'm fine with that. It's still going to be very compelling, and I think it's going to make the end of October and all of November in future years, we'll have games of incredible importance that everybody will be watching. More people are going to be watching more games with a lot at stake, and that's the big deal. So this is all good news.
Tim Brendo, our guest, joining Rick Ballou. Tim Brendo joins us here each and every week throughout the course of the college football season. I love the way you're thinking. As a matter of fact, I just began the show about 25 minutes ago, and that was exactly my thought. Now that we have, now that we understand that we're at 12, can we get to 16? And you highlighted the reasons. I mean, those 4 home teams are going to make that much more money. Can you imagine what the deals are going to be like television-wise? So outside of asking players to play an extra game, what is the reason why people would not want? And when I mean people, I mean suits here. I mean presidents, I mean commissioners. What are the reasons why they wouldn't want a 16-team?
Well, there's a public relations hit because of the extra game, okay, to some extent with some of the presidents. But I don't think many of them, to be honest with you, since the brouhaha started over the realignment issues between the SEC and the Big 12, and later with the move this year by USC and UCLA, with the Pac-12, I think some feelings have been hurt among conference commissioners, and they have been slow to move on this. But it's the presidents of the schools that have sent down the edict to the commissioners saying, you got to get this done. We need this money. We're living in a post-COVID era, a period after which most schools hemorrhaged money. No fans came. Turnstiles were not impacted at all. I mean, they've been living primarily just off the TV money. But, that would be it. There's a little bit of a PR hit maybe because the outcry is there. Plus, there are those that are saying, and I understand this, that if we're asking players to play more, yes, it's going to give the players opportunities to be exposed and maybe help their draft stock. But don't they deserve a piece of the pie, meaning more money because of the financial boon that comes from the playoff being extended and not millions of dollars, but billions of dollars being involved. That's why I think the additional 4 teams and what that would be worth to television is something I think the presidents may pause and take a look at and say, you know what, maybe we need to look at this, because from a public relations standpoint, they're going to have to do something beyond just NIL, I think, with regard to players getting a percentage of what this revenue is going to bring in. Otherwise, these institutions are going to be vilified in some quarters. Everybody's got an agenda. So I think there may be a little bit of trepidation about that. simply because of those reasons. It's all public relations motivated.
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense. As we move on, because we only have a couple of minutes left here with our good friend Tim Brando. All right, if the top 4 teams win their conference championship beginning tomorrow night, then Saturday, they are in. But let's talk some chaos now. Let's say that there's an upset. Let's say Utah in a rematch gets them tomorrow night. What if that happens?
That could happen. Yeah, I mean, to me, that's more problematic than anything. The reality is, I don't know that we're going to have a lot of chaos, Rick, because they've got the pure playoff privilege sitting in the on deck and in the whole circle in the battery. Okay, You got Ohio State and Alabama poised to move in if either TCU or USC drop the ball. Now, I think the committee wants TCU out more than they want USC out. But if USC were to lose a second time to Utah, and you see Utah's record, they've got 3 L's. I think Ohio State goes in. I think Ohio State is definitely going to go in if either one of those 2 teams lose. Now, I will caution that Ohio State's pure playoff privilege is exceeded only by 1 team, that's Alabama. But the committee's going to have a much harder time justifying a move with Alabama going in because they don't have any signature wins. Ohio State's got some pretty significant wins this year. They looked bad in their own house the last game in the second half, but what's Alabama's biggest win? Against a 4-loss Texas, a 4-loss Ole Miss, a 4-loss Mississippi State? I think it would be tough, to put them in over either USC or TCU, in my opinion, were they to lose if there was a second game. Now, if one of them loses, I think Ohio State's definitely in. But if both lose, I think there's a good chance that maybe USC could survive, because A, they've got the brand, and B, they've got better wins, more signature wins than Alabama had. They beat Notre Dame, they beat UCLA. The Pac-12 was pretty good this year. Had some quality teams in there. Oregon was really good. So was Washington. And clearly, UCLA was in the midst of a banner season, kind of bouncing back. So I think there's a chance that USC could afford a loss and get in more so than TCU.
Yeah, and and everything you just mentioned there supports why we need to expand this, because others will say, well, wait a minute here now. Bama lost 2 games by 4 points, a combined 4 points. And Ohio State 4 days ago lost by 3 touchdowns at home. So there is an argument for the other side here.
No, there always is. And it's a flawed system with 4. I think we've seen that since 2014. TCU got screwed the opening year by Ohio State. Dropped 3 spots.
Yes, they did.
In the final week. There's precedence for all of it. But, chaos to me would be if you had, a situation with 4 or 5 teams, or you had a group of 5 teams that was really putting pressure on, like last year with Cincinnati when they got in. Had Oklahoma State beaten Baylor and been a 1-loss Big 12 champion, that would have been chaos. What do you do with undefeated Cincinnati if Oklahoma State is a 1-loss Big 12 champion? That didn't happen because Baylor kept them out of the end zone. This really, to me, isn't chaos. This is almost boring, really. We know what's going to happen if they win out, and we also know what's going to happen if one of the teams lose. They're definitely going to put Ohio State in. The question becomes, are they arrogant enough, they being the committee, to give Alabama a slot when they don't have a signature win against a quality team? And they don't. Yeah. Alabama, you mentioned that they lost 2 heartbreakers, yes. They were both on the road. But tell me where their big win is. I mean, is it Texas? You're going to throw that up? Ole Miss, Mississippi State? I mean, those teams do not compare with, Ohio State beating Penn State at Penn State, They don't compare with, wins that TCU got on the road that were, important after they beat Kansas State. I mean, what they did at Baylor and what they, that was pretty amazing stuff, what they did. And the Big 12 had highly ranked teams. I mean, that's the strength of schedule on TCU is a lot higher than a lot of fans realize.
Yeah, and you've seen them, and a lot of people just dismiss them. And Tim Brando mentioned it a moment ago, but for our listeners who forget, in 2014, get this, TCU was 11-1. They were left out because they did not play in the Big 12 championship game. There was not one available. Ohio State got in with a record of 12-1. Now here this year, you can make the scenario that TCU that plays in a Big 12 championship game, if they lose, Ohio State will get in, yet they won't play in a conference championship game.
Yeah.
How's that for a totally screwed up system?
Well, that just that speaks to the hypocrisy of the system. And, that was the year when the 13th data point became such a big deal. Remember that everyone talking about the TCU doesn't have the 13th data point. Well, they played on the same day that all the championship games were being played, and they beat Iowa State 55-3. They bludgeoned them just like they did last week, but they didn't have the 13th data point.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Hey, as we let you go, I know you've been outspoken about this. I have here as well in Jacksonville. Boy, it's kind of a new trend, but Lane Kiffin, the way he handles being pursued by Auburn, and they lose 4 of their last 5, including 3 in a row. Granted, they left it all on the field against Bama. And then Hugh Freeze, the great things he does at Liberty, but it just feels like when you put yourself in front of your players at the school you're at will quit. The evidence is the record by Liberty and Mississippi.
No question, and I thought, I was very critical of Lane, and to be perfectly honest, I erred with one of my tweets. I made it a little too personal. I've got a lot of friends at Ole Miss, and they felt, that they had been kicked to the curb through all this the last couple of weeks. And I apologized to Lane. I DM'd him on direct message at Twitter to tell him so. He's a really good coach. But he got put, I think, in a tough spot by his agent. This is what happens when you have the same agent representing both guys. Okay, and what Dexter did was he dangled Kiffin, which is who apparently they wanted. That was the low-hanging fruit. When in fact, the better move for his client, in my opinion, would have been, hey, Lane, they're going to erect a statue of you there. You got it cooking here at Ole Miss. Would you really want to go to Auburn? My advice to him would have been, no, there's something bigger could happen for you. Let's put Hugh in there, and Hugh, hiring him cost Auburn about $3.5 million less, Rick. Okay. Yeah. So by hiring Hugh Freeze, they saved $21 million, and you know how many coaches they're paying off now. Gus is still getting a check. Arson's got $15 million to walk out. So, Auburn's got more money in the kitty now for their NIL and for their assistant coaches. But I just thought it was an ugly look for everybody, and I think Lane may have learned a lesson there. I hope he did, because he's going to have to, to some extent, win back the legion of fans that already love him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because right now they're thinking he's got the rose petal out going. They love me. They love me not. They love me. They love me not. And it didn't have to come to that. It shouldn't have come to that. Is my point.
Hey, Tim, as always, it is a pleasure. What a great college football season it's been. We'll obviously try to hook up before the semifinals of the college football playoff. But who do you have tomorrow night now? You got Boise State? What do you have?
Yeah, that's in the afternoon tomorrow. We'll be running opposite of the SEC championship. It's going to be a fun game. Fresno State got a great quarterback that came back from what looked to be a season-ending injury in Hainer. And then Talon Green is an outstanding quarterback at Boise. And old guys like Dirk Cutter coaching the offense for Boise. And you got, of course, the 60-year-old Back to the Future coach that was at Cal, and Jeff Tedford coaching Fresno again after he took a 2-year sabbatical because of a heart issue and COVID. There's a lot of great storylines to this one, for the Mountain West Championship. So Spencer and I'll have it at 4 Eastern time on Saturday.
There you go, yes. Our old friend, Dirk Cutter, former offensive coordinator of the
Yeah.
Jacksonville Jaguars. Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
Timmy B, have a blast. Thank you as always.
You got it, man.
That was last night, and I have an admission, okay? My complete lack of respect for the Mountain West Championship game. When Brando told me he was going from Shreveport to Dallas, from Dallas to Phoenix, from Phoenix to Boise, I thought he had a hoop game. So here you have, I've been kind of taking off on those who don't give TCU any love in the Big 12 Championship. I guess I'm the blame as well when you look at Fresno State and Boise State. I'll get over it. I will. Tim Brando, always a pleasure. Thank you. Dave Campo, thank you. The Philly Rooster, thank you. For JJ, my name is Rick Ballou. I will talk with you at 8 o'clock in the morning, Sunday. Jaguars at Detroit.
They're often overlooked, but you can't win without them.
Winning football players who can step up in a clutch moment.
Listen for the Special Teams Player of the Game. Brought to you by the urological specialists at McKeever Clinic on 1010XL.
Honda continues to impress with their new lineup this year. Don't settle for less when the best is just minutes away. We invite you to visit your local Honda dealer and see the vehicles everyone is talking about. Remember, only